my friend said he had a few bits. I didn't know he had bits. Check this out. This, I thought this was a standard generic decat, but look, that is a P-Ron. Guys, everything is all done. Let's hear it for the first time. Sounds crazy, it looks crazy, and we're ready to make big power. Check it out. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode from Salvage Nation. In this episode, we are back on my stolen recovered Ford Fiesta ST. It's a 2014 model which I got from Copart. If you haven't seen the first episode of the delivery day, go check it out now. It was a very interesting episode. This is episode 2. And straight away, you remember at the end of that episode, I told you one of the first things I'm going to be modding is the exhaust. Well, we haven't even rebuilt the car yet, and I went out and I got myself a Miltech Sports exhaust for this car, which is going to make that engine sound really nice. I've been doing a lot of research, as I said, and I chose to go with the Miltech race exhaust. I hope that it sounds nice. I don't know. We're having quite a late start tonight because I've had some new builds got delivered. So many things happened today, but one of the things that happened is I went down to a local breakers and I picked up a front slam panel, rad pack, and if you remember, they broke the driver's glass on that door, so I've got a new glass so that I can secure the car once again, and I've gone ahead and done some security mods to ensure that it doesn't happen again. So let's go check out the car, show you what I've got, and get started. So if you look behind me, I've got my race exhaust. I've got a decat that's going to be coming, a sports cap that's going to come and attach to that side, but it's a non-res Miltech, and it's got all the branding, the Miltech branding all over. Here it is there again, so it's the Miltech one, and that should sound really nice. And it's got these lovely black tips with the Miltech logo on the back. Now, as you can see, they're not brand new. I picked these up really, really cheaply from a local guy who's got the same car, and he upgraded from this Miltech to the Scorpion one, but I think the Miltech would do us just fine. Now, more importantly, because we're moving the car in and out of the garage and moving it from spot to spot, I want to make sure that I'm running the engine safe. So I made sure that I got the complete rad pack so I can fill it up with coolant and make sure that we're running that engine safely. But like I said, we're going to be modding this car. I've reached out to a few companies. I'm in some talks with a few companies. It's all going to come out at a later date. But I'm in talks with a few companies, and we're going to be pushing this car to stage 2. So that is going to be coming off, and we're going to be putting the upgraded or uprated intercooler. But for now, we're going to get that one fitted to the car. And the last thing that I'm going to be fitting today is this glass. That's the glass for the driving side door. They broke that, so we need to get that into the car. And as you can see, it's quite late, it's dark, and it's rainy. I don't want the interior of the car to get wet. Guys, if you want to see more of this kind of content, consider subscribing. And now that that's out the way, let's get started. Now, because they stole the interior as well, check out my little makeshift seat, which is a battery with this microfiber cloth on the top. It's very comfortable, guys. Heated, trust me, very well insulated. Anyway, so check this out. The first step was to remove this door panel. So underneath that handle, there are about 3 little Torx screws, and I was able to access them once I pulled everything off. With those screws removed, it was a matter of removing the clips and removing all these wires until the side panel was free. Now after that, I thought that I had to remove all of these screws and remove the entire panel. And as you can see, Akil is walking over, and then Akil actually stopped me in my tracks. This is why they say knowledge is key. So I went ahead and I took all of these nuts out, and then Akil just came and said, "What you doing, man? You just take this grommet out, and there's a hole in there, and you take the speaker out, and then that's it, and you can clip the new window in." So knowledge is key. Remember, knowledge. Right, after telling Angus off, I went and I undone all the damage that I caused, and I refitted all of those nuts.
These nuts? Got him!
In came Akil, slid the window in, and as you can see, it's all working. Alrighty, boys and girls, if you look behind me, we've now got a newly refitted driver's side window glass, and trust me, that is a good sight. I'm happy to see that. And I've gone ahead and refitted the inner door card. Everything is working, the door is going down. I've resetted the window so it knows where to start and stop and etc. So the auto function is all working, so I'm happy with that. Now I've got Angus working late with me today, and I just went to the garage next door, and they're the ones with the lift, multi-car repairs. I'm always in there, and they've got the lift, and I was booked in to put this car on the lift to fit that exhaust. However, the guy, Zaf, he told me that he's got a car on there and it broke I think the gearbox is broken. Anyway, the car can't leave the lift until tomorrow, and I was really looking forward to getting that exhaust on this car tonight. And I'm the type of person, guys, I don't know if any of you guys are like this, but I'm the type of person, once I got an idea in my head, I have to do it because it bugs me. So, I'm gonna refit the front end. Here it is. I need to just refit, not the entire front end because I haven't got the front end, but the front rads and the front slam panel. And once I've refit that, I'm gonna just go underneath and see, I'm gonna jack it up for a bit and see if there's A, enough space to work, and B, it's just a few screws and nuts and bolts, and the old one should drop off. I might be able to do it without the ramp. If I can, then I'll do it tonight because I really wanna hear it, and if I can't, I'll have to do it in the morning. So let's get the front end on the car. So check this out, I know that the front end looks a complete and utter mess, but it's really simple. The unit that I bought comes complete with the rad pack and the front slam panel, so it was easy to just line everything up, put 4 bolts in, tighten them down, and then after that, I simply had to just connect the water hoses at the top and the water hoses at the bottom, and that was it for the front end. That was simple as. Now the front panel that I bought had a set of horns connected to it. I simply just removed the ones that were dangling from the car and just plugged it into the existing ones. They're exactly the same part, and now I've got a spare set of horns. After topping up the fluids, it was time to check to see if the fan was working and also check for any leaks. Right guys, so as you can hear, the car is running behind me. I went ahead and I've put on the front slam panel, front rad pack, and I've just realized that I'm missing some turbo pipes and rubber hoses for the intercoolers. So I need to nip to the shops tomorrow and see if I can get some of those. But in terms of the cooling system on the car, everything's plumbed in, and I'm just gonna leave it to run. And as you can see, I filled that up. It's gone through the system already, so I need to top it up again and just let it just heat up, get all the air out. And I want to check to see if that fan is kicking in, to see if my fan's working. So whilst I wait for all of that, I'm gonna have a look to see if I've got enough space, what I need to do. Like, this exhaust thing is bugging me. I really want to get this exhaust on to hear this car tonight. So let me leave that to heat up, and I'm gonna have a look to see what's going on with this exhaust situation. After finding no leaks, I continued to assemble the front end of the car until I noticed a problem. Alright guys, so I've actually had this car running for about 20 minutes now. It should be at a hot enough temperature for that fan to kick in. I've checked all the plugs, I've checked everything. I haven't checked the fuses, but I've still not got any power, or the fan's not moving basically. It hasn't kicked in even after 20 minutes, and it should have by now. I stuck it on the diagnostic here, and I've got 2 errors. P0480 fan control circuit error, and P0480 twice snapshot data fan control error. I don't know if you can see that. So I don't know what that is, and I've also had a look at the access to the exhaust. It's quite tight, and another thing that I realized is because the exhaust is in 2 sections, I'm gonna need some exhaust paste. And I don't want to go through all the hassle now and then have to redo it again tomorrow. So I'm just going to wait until tomorrow. I'm going to look into this a little bit more, and I'm going to fit that exhaust on the car. So it's just gone 9 o'clock at night. I'm knackered, so I'm going to head home, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning, people. It's the next morning here, and I don't know about you, but when it comes to problem solving, it stays on my mind, and I've got the tendency to obsess on it. So I was thinking about this whole fan situation with the Fiesta all night, and I've woken up, I've come straight in, it's 8 in the morning now, fresh mind, fresh thinking, fresh set of eyes, hopefully when Akil comes in. But one of the things that I was thinking is maybe when the robbers took off all the front end, you never know, the car could have been sat outside, it could have been raining, and that plug was just dangling when we got the car, so it could have ingested some water. It could have short-circuited the fuse, and which will cause the fuse to go. So I'm gonna get my tester. I'm gonna check to see if there's any power coming to that wire. Because what I did last night is I plugged it into the fan, I cleared the codes, I plugged it out of the fan, I cleared the codes, and the exact 2 codes still remained. So whether it's plugged in or not, there's nothing. So it tells me that the issue is further back, probably in the fuse box. Fingers crossed it's just a fuse and I don't have to buy a new fan or wiring, I don't know. But I'm gonna get stuck into that right now. I'm gonna do a few tests. Before I head down to the local parts store, I wanna get some, what is it? What do I need to get? I need to get some exhaust paste because that exhaust is going onto this car. And then one of my mates, he's got one of these cars as well. He's gonna give me an AirTech intercooler, which is the race spec. So whilst I'm putting on the front end, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna swing by, collect that intercooler, and he's also got the intercooler hoses that I need for the car. So there's still quite a lot to do in this episode. So let's get into that. Right guys, that's not good news. Well, it's good news that there's power coming to the connection for the fan, but it means that there's an issue with the actual fan itself. So I need to go back to the breaker's yard where I got that from and try to figure out what's going on there. It's coming up with an error on the fan side, and I've checked all 3 wires. The ground is giving me ground, the plus is giving me plus, and the signal wire is giving the amount of resistance and signal that is there. So, not good news. Anyway, I'm gonna head out now, get the exhaust paste and get those bits from my mate, and then I'll catch you back here at the garage. After a quick 20-minute drive, I made it down to my mate's shop, and as you can see, it's parts heaven in here. But let's make our way down to the back so I can show you all the goodies that's in store for my baby. Alright guys, so I've come down to Edmonton, North London, to my mate's shop, Parts on Demand. And like I said, he's got a few bits for me. This is a part shop and they normally specializes in Mercedes and BMWs. But he called me up, he's like, yo D, I got a Fiesta that came in, I saw it cheap, I broke it. It's got loads and loads of performance parts on it. I said, what have you got? And check this out, that's my new intercooler. That's an AirTech full race size intercooler. That came on the car. Check these out as well. This is a P-Ron. We got MK Performance intercooler pipes. These are the pipes that I'm missing, so all of these intercooler pipes are gonna go on. And he's also got a few other bits and bobs that I'm gonna try to get. We're gonna get them all back to the car, get this car transformed. If you're interested in getting any parts from this shop, I'll put all the details in the description down below. Right guys, so we're back at the garage, and that was a bit unexpected. When my friend said he had a few bits, I didn't know he had bits. To say that I am gassed is an understatement. Check out all these, oh my God. So, where do I start? Check this out. This is a complete induction kit from K&N. It's got the sensor and it's got all the OEM connections. So that just bolts straight on. We're gonna put that on today. We've got a bigger diameter performance, MK Performance. If anyone knows who they are, I don't know, but MK Performance charge air pressure pipes, they're gonna go on because these are what I was missing. I actually just went down to get these and the intercooler. This is a giant AirTech intercooler. Have a look. Original AirTech is heavy, it's solid, it's big, and that's gonna transform the front. I'm gonna redo the logo at the front, or I might do a Salvage Nation logo, I don't know. But then check this out. This, I thought this was a standard generic decap, but look, that is a P-Ron. And why I'm so gassed is, since I've gotten this car, I've done a lot of research, watching a lot of videos, checking out, and some of the names that always come up is Monsoon, P-Ron, AirTech, Voodoo Performance has been coming up as well, so I want to do some bits with them as well, hopefully get a map or something, I don't know. But the majority of the bits, and Miltech, got the Miltech exhausts there as well. All of these names, and it's going onto this car, it's going to transform this car and make this car an absolute beast. So, no more talking, I'm going to start by putting on this air intake, and then afterwards I'm going to try to front this intercooler. Hopefully by the time I'm finished all of that, the ramps are free next door, and then we're going to take the car around there, and we're going to get that exhaust and the decap fitted. One more thing before we get started, guys. I'm hoping that one of you guys can help me. The car that all of those bits came off of, it was modified to the max, and I'm assuming that if it's got big intercooler, big decap, full Monsoon exhaust, it must have had a map. He's broken the car and he said that the engine did turn over. It was rear end damage. The engine did turn over. When he started it, he said it sounded like a complete animal. It was revving like crazy. So I'm assuming it's got a map on there. Now, is there a way for me to get that map off of that ECU onto my car? Let me know in the description down below. I made a phone call to a locksmith to see if I take the entire ECU, if I can reprogram it to this car. He said it's gonna be a long process, but is there a way I can redo read that map, download that map, because trust me, the way that all these bits, they're not cheap, and there's no point in putting on all these bits if you're not gonna have a massive map to complement everything that was on that car. So fingers crossed. If you can help, or if you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments down below. Now we can continue. So the install on this induction kit is quite simple. It's simply a Jubilee clip at the back, and it's got some rubber grommets at the front, along with some clips. After popping them all out, the whole unit slid out, but as you can see, someone's poked some holes inside. In comes my new K&N filter, which slots straight into the OEM fitment holes, and I was able to reuse the same Jubilee clip from the OEM assembly. With the unit fitted, I just had to connect the vacuum hose and the sensor plug, and that was it for the install on my new K&N induction kit. So there you have it, guys. The air filter's on. It's gone into the original OEM fitment points. It's a good fit. I haven't tested the sound yet because in the midst of doing all of that, this just came. So now that I've got the exhaust paste, I was just thinking I was gonna try to put on the front radiator here, but because it's so heavy, and there's a lot of mounting points underneath, and I've also got to get underneath to put on all of these hoses and stuff. Let's take the car next door to Multi-Car Repairs, use their ramp, jack it up, and we're gonna blitz out the exhaust and the radiator and the pipes. So, let's go. So this is the part of the video that we've all been waiting for. We have to remove the wiper blades, both parts of the scuttle panel, to gain access to that downpipe. Now, there's a tiny little gap at the back of the engine, so it was really cramped to work in, but we cracked on, we got it done. Whilst I was doing the top section, Akil and Zaf got to work with removing the standard exhaust to make room for my new Miltech Race 3-inch exhaust. As you just saw, they made light work of that. So down comes the car, and we're back on the top to access those screws once again for the downpipe, so we can get that bad boy out of there. Made in Hackney, guys, made in Hackney. But check this tool out, custom made in Hackney by yours truly, so that we can remove these sensors. After cleaning the connection points on the exhaust, it was time to fit it. Now, I had to apply a generous amount of exhaust paste to protect from any leaks before connecting it all up. And after that, it was boom, bash, bomb, done. Next up is the intercooler. All of these plastics had to come off, and they're all just number 10 nuts and a few pop rivet screws. On with the new AirTech full-length intercooler, and that thing is looking cold, literally. It's held together with two number 10 nuts at the bottom, and we had to do some custom drilling at the top, as this car is not designed to have such a big intercooler. With the new holes drilled, I was able to secure my new intercooler into place using nuts and bolts. With that all secured, I had to just replace the plastics that I removed, replace the screws, and get the car back up for one more time in order to fit my new MK Performance intercooler charge piping kit. there you have it, guys. Take a look at this. Guys, everything is all done. Let's hear it for the first time. Guys, look, still no seat. It's definitely too loud on the back. We're gonna change the back box. So guys, I've gone ahead, I've buckled down the front of the car again, everything's back together. Sounds crazy, it looks crazy, and we're ready to make big power. Check it out. So the first major thing, as you can see, we've got that nice, massive, full-size AirTech front intercooler to keep the engine cool. We got the dress-up kit down below, but they are a wider diameter than what came on the car, so they should improve that cooling effect with more air. Once again, coming back to more air, we got the K&N complete induction kit. I'm gonna get a crossover pipe for there, but this induction kit should once again provide more air. And then that nice exhaust system is a complete exhaust system and a decap pipe from P-Ron, and I've paired that up with a Miltech race exhaust. However, I do feel like it's a little bit too loud, so I will be changing the back box. At the moment, it's got the back box delete race spec. I'll put back on the one with the back box. I think I've got it somewhere. I'm gonna dig it out and get that on. Whilst I was working on the car today and doing everything, and it was on the ramp, I had a look at that connection for the fan. Earlier on in the episode, it wasn't working. But good news, have a look, everything on the car is fine now, and it's only got the 2 codes for the driver and passenger airbag seats, so I'm happy with that. So the fans are all working and everything is all good with the car now. So there you have it, guys. We managed to get so much done in this episode. This car is ready for big power now. I think that should be good. Everything that we did today should be good for a stage 2 plus remap. We got that massive, you've seen all the bits that we've done anyway. So I'm gonna be reaching out to either, I've narrowed it down, it's gonna be a map from either Puma Speeds or it's gonna be the guys from over at Voodoo. I'm just waiting to hear back from either or and see what we can work out. And then I'm gonna be taking the car down there, or I may get their mobile flashing tool. I don't know, but that's gonna come in the future. Before any of that happens, I need to get the car completed. I know that you're probably thinking, you've done all of this, but you haven't completed the actual car. But it's just a matter of when the parts come in, and we're waiting for the parts for the front end and the seats and what's not. So once they come in, I'll get them on the car. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. And if it's the first time that you're watching this and you want to follow this build, make sure you press that subscribe button. I think we've done everything that we can do for today, so this is where we're going to be ending the episode. So like I always say, keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next one. Guys, thank you for watching the video. Click here to see what YouTube thinks you should watch, or click here to check out this playlist on one of my previous builds. And I'll catch you in the next one. We out.